This is my 5th album, so I have enough experience writing music for my group. It was pretty easy for me to figure out what would work and what would fit this album. My approach over my music all those years was basically playing jazz over different type of forms of grooves, whether it's a funk groove or an R&B groove, a blues groove, a slow, whatever. The idea behind Twisted Blues is basically taking some blues forms and mix them with what I do, which is a mix of jazz, really, and R&B and funk. I kind of mix them all together and basically twist them a little. I've been playing in New York now for over 10 years ago, steady at the bitter end, and the organ player that plays on that band is Jerry Z, and he's like my brother. He always delivers, a really great musician, and he was able to play on a big part of the record, and I'm really happy for that. Well, there's nobody better than Vinnie Colaiuta, really. A good friend of mine, Jimmy Johnson, says like Vinnie is a one-off. And it's really true. There's like nothing like it. There's no words to describe what is it to play with him. It's really kind of wild. There's nothing more to say, really. It's really the best. I wrote music that was blues influenced, and this was like a perfect opportunity. I felt like after I've done my last 4 records in pretty much the same kind of genre, it was time to move on and to explore with some other territories, and blues was always a big part of what I've done. Well, I've always been a really big fan of Alan Toussaint, and once his name came up, it was kind of a done deal. I called him, he was really happy to do it, and he actually put such a nice spin, a nice sound over this one song, really this twisted rumba kind of song that really turned this song around. He put such strong vibe on it, and it's really, really great. We've been playing the music a year before, so we were able to get the music to gel. I really don't believe in just going to the studio and recording. So once we got into the studio, we already knew the tunes. So I think I got what I wanted. Yeah, it's pretty greasy. Well, there's only one guy in the world really that I kind of don't have to talk and can just play, and he'll be just there playing the right stuff. We don't even have to look at each other. We played so much and we have such a connection. He's like kind of my musical soulmate, and that's Wee Lee. He played bass on half of the record, and usually he's just right on, and he's on all the time. His been always a challenge for me since the first record I've done to be able to really capture my sound. And that's one of the reasons when I record in the studio, I record live. We all play at the same time, so there's hardly ever any overdubs because I'm really trying to get that live feeling. Another guy that I've been playing with for over 10 years, he's been in my band since the beginning, and I don't know anybody that's got a fatter and stronger groove than Anton Fig. He's still as strong sounding to me than he was when I first heard him, just getting better. He's always solid, very strong drummer, always delivers, so he really fits. John Medeski is one of my favorite musicians in the whole world, really. There's really nobody that sounds like him or gets any of those sounds like he gets for either an organ or a Fender Rhodes or a Worley or all those kind of instruments. I was really lucky to be able to get him on a couple of tracks. There's nobody like that guy. Ralph MacDonald came to the studio to hang out, and we were just sitting there, and usually there's this tambourine part that Will plays on their show. He looked at me and looked at Ralph and went like, "Ralphie, maybe you go and do this." And Ralph just was like, "Okay." So he ended up playing on this track, and he's really the best there is, so I couldn't say no. Eric Johnson's been a big, huge influence on me, and one of my guitar heroes. He was kind enough to join the group and play on the record, and it was great. He actually let me record in his studio, which was incredible. So he's as good of a person as he is a player, or more. I'm here at Eric's studio, and because I was planning on doing this band for forever. It's called the Twisted Blues Band. It's like a blues version of what I'm doing. The last year I've been doing it in New York. I wrote all this music, and I've been coming here on and off for the last 2 years, so it's kind of came together pretty nicely, and we're gonna get down. Layton is by far my number one blues drummer of all times. I grew up on all the Stevie Ray Vaughan music and always liked his playing, and when I had the opportunity to go and record in Austin, the first thing that came to mind was like, oh, maybe I can get him to play on the record, and I was able to, and it's just the best shuffles ever. Really. I met Reese a couple of years ago at NAMM when we played together in the Fender booth, and there's a really unique sound to a lot of those Stevie Ray Vaughan records and Double Trouble, and a lot of it actually has to do with the keyboard and organ playing, and Reese Wynans is such a unique personality and unique voice in that genre, and when I was going to record in Austin, I immediately called Reese. He's really, really great. I grew up listening to a lot of Eric Johnson records and Robin Ford records, and I was like Roscoe Beck's playing, and I was actually fortunate to meet him over the years a few times and play with him. When I went to play and record in Austin, he was basically the first call. It was pretty obvious that that's who I'm going to use, especially for the blues stuff. I really love his playing on that kind of stuff.